let's start with a character. And I like to start, one of the ways I like to start is with a robot. And let's say he's got a gesture like this. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest the gesture of his hand and have it kind of match up with the story that I'm trying to tell. And then if we wanted to go back and start to work on detailing the hands, so we're looking at the bottoms of the hands, the first thing that we want to do is we want to, as we start to delineate the structure, so the first thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to establish the gesture and the story, and now we've got that. And now what we want to do is we want to start to make the hands start to jump off the page and make them feel dimensional. And so we're looking for, there's a wedge shape that the hand has. You know that shovel shape that we were talking about? Okay, so here's the shovel shape. Here's that muscle. And I want to try to get this hand in perspective and to have some thickness. And I know that on the thumb side of the hand, it cuts inward, and on this side of the hand, the pinky side of the hand, it goes like that. Okay, so here is the place where I'm going to split from my middle finger to the side fingers. And I have to make some decisions now about the gesture of the fingers. And the gesture of the fingers here is pretty simple. And maybe I'll go with that. Putting in the balls on that side. So this is the longest finger, and I think I'll make these a little separate. Okay, now we can see that I'm seeing the side of his hand here, and so these fingers, I'm going to give them sides also. And there's the big fat pad right here. Again there. I want to make sure I include the wrist. I wonder if I can help out here with a little zoom. So that's one hand. Okay, and now if I wanted to draw the other hand, again, the first thing that I want to start to do is establish the basic structure, so starting with the wrist, let's make sure that we've included some space for the wrist. Here's the arm into the wrist. The thumb side tucks down, while the pinky side straight out like that. Okay, looking for the wedge of the palm of the hand. And when I find the wedge of the palm of the hand, I want to try to state its thickness. That's its thickness. And the thumb will come down this way as a little triangle. I think this wants to come lower. And then you've got 2 sections of the thumb, and here the pinky. Here's the arc of the fingers, and I'm going to go, here's the center. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, move over, 1, 2, 3, move over, 1, 2, 3, move over, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Again, looking for the rounded part of the bottom of the finger and the side plane. And I think that I'd be seeing this part of the side plane. Looking for the wrinkles especially, and the side plane. Okay. So how about one of those? You see the way that I'm overlapping these cylinders? That's how I do something in foreshortening. That's how we get something to be coming right towards us. Now if I wanted to do a hand coming right towards me, I'd start out like this. Notice how the wedge of the hand, everything here is foreshortened, right? This is my wrist space. This is going to be my thumb side, so that goes in. This is the wrist side, so it has that little bump. You can take your wrist side and you see that little bump right there. Okay, so the wrist side has that little bump. Remember the chicken leg. And this part of the arm is particularly square. It's always considered really particularly square. Okay, so I'm down through the wrist. Okay, there's these little muscles, these little bones in here. I'm pretty sure there's 7 of them, 6 or 7 of them. And they come before the carpal bones of your hands. Like, so here's the bones that come down into your fingers. And then there's this wedge on the side, this little triangle on the side for where the thumb attaches. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I bring this part forward ever so slightly. Okay, that'll help. And now I take the fingers and I deal with them like foreshortened cylinders, and I've got to get 3 sections per finger, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that makes this finger come pointing right at me. Okay, and now if I want this one to go downwards, So I come off this, here's the knuckle right there going forward. So this knuckle is going up and this knuckle is going forward. And now I'm going to go 1, and the other finger now, the other part of that finger is going backwards, okay? And then I'm going to do the same here. Here's the knuckle for this one. And the other part of it is going backwards and in. And here's the thumb. Top is very angular and the bottom is very soft. And it helps to give this a side plane. Here's the fingernail. All right, another hand. And I think that'll do it.